Alright YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. 2 NBA playoff games on today's slate. We're jumping into the first one here. We have the Celtics hosting the Sixers. We're going to jump into that game. I'm going to give you my lean on the spread and on the total. My final play or plays, those will be in the pinned comments, so make sure to check that out. I update that throughout the day, always in before game time. The game that we're looking at here, Celtics minus 7.5 here as they return back to Boston on the spread. Total is sitting at 213.5, which I believe is what the spread, the total came to last game as a closing spread. But other than that, the lowest total that we've seen. This series is tied 2-2, and as a Celtics fan, this is like an absolute torturous series. But before we get into that, recapping last night, we did have the Knicks +4. That does not come through. Then we had the Warriors +3, which pushes. So an 0-1-1 night for us there. That's tough. That is tough. We also go 1-2 in the MLB, so that wasn't all that great. We hit all of our short form content, player props, over on TikTok and the Reels, which is great. But, you know, this is where I take my pride and joy in spreads and totals, money line, run lines, totals, that type of thing in baseball, and didn't really love what we saw out of the last 2 days from us. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Again, the Celtics favored by 7.5 points here at home as they return back to Boston. That total is at 213.5. Let's start with the spread. Now, I'm a Celtics fan. I tell you guys that. Sometimes I tell you guys that I might be biased. The Celtics could have won that last game and be up 3-1 as of right now. So they have to be pissed off. That being said, 7.5, I think maybe an overreaction to the books. I think the Celtics come in and win this game, but 7.5 points, winning this game by 8, and what we've seen, the Sixers team at least, you know, look like the better team multiple times during this series. I don't think they are the better team, but at any given time, they can go on a 15-minute stretch of looking like that. I think 7.5 points is a little bit too much, so I do like the Celtics to win this game, but I would have pegged this at, you know, a 4.5 to 5.5 point spread, so it worries me a little bit to lean towards the Celtics minus 7.5. The play that I actually like a little bit more, and this might be, and I'll sound the psycho alert alarm, I really do like the under 213.5 in this game. The Celtics so far, I mean, in their last 10 games, so playoff games included obviously here, they've gone over that mark in their games in 8 of their last 10, and the Sixers have done it in 6 of their last 10. I will say that is a very, very low number for two teams that we've seen put up plenty of points here. Game 1, 119 to 115. Game 3, 114 to 102. And then game 4 there, 116 to 115. I do think that this game could result in a little bit more of a game 2 vibe where the Celtics come out and say, all right, the way that we are going to beat this Sixers team is to not compete with James Harden, not compete with Joel Embiid, but to play our defense and absolutely D up. Now, we saw that in sort of, I would say, the third to fourth quarter of that last game. In game 4, Joe Mazzulla was mic'd up on the bench. He said, guys, we have an extra level of defense that we haven't reached yet. We got to get there. And then we saw the Celtics make it super hard for the Sixers to score for a long, long stretch. They went on like a 12-0, 10-0 run, something like that. I expect them to have that mentality coming into tonight's game. So I do think Celtics, being the better defensive team, one of the better teams in the league on the defensive end, I think that they come into this game not with the idea that they have to score more points than the Sixers, but they have to make every Sixers basket tough and hard for them to get, and the Sixers are going to have to earn whatever points they get tonight. So I do lean towards the under in this one. Again, the Celtics minus 7.5. I want to tell you that I'm that confident in my favorite team, right? But 7.5 points seems like it's a decent amount. I could see this game being like a 97 to 92 game in which the Celtics may have dominated the entire game and controlled the pace of the game and the play and made everything hard, and yet it still is 7.5. You don't win by 8 points, so it's hard to go and say the Celtics can win by 8 points when I'm also rooting and leaning towards an under too, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to lean towards that under. Again, it kind of goes against the trends. It goes against probably what the public will think, but I kind of like the Celtics to come in here and say, okay, priority 1, mission number 1, the only thing we have to think about tonight is defending and not letting James Harden drop 40, making it tough on Joel Embiid and that type of mindset. So I'm going to lean towards the under, and again, I'm caught up on this spread. I think the Celtics win this game. I wouldn't be surprised if they win it by 8, but I'm really, really not as confident in that as I am in the under. So the under is probably going to be in the pinned comment. I know when we're doing these videos, just one video, right? We don't really, or one game to go over. There's no necessary need for the pinned comment, but that still is how we do things around here, and I'll keep it like that. But yeah, Celtics, I'm going to lean towards them to win this game. 7.5 worries me just a bit, but I really do like the under. And before I let you guys go, no more basketball talk, but I do want to talk to you guys about Outlier. Outlier has been great to me, and they've been great to you if you've signed up for the 7-day free trial that we have going with them right now. That link's in the description as well as the pinned comment. It's an amazing sports betting research tool, guys. Makes it super visual for both spreads and totals as well as player props. They have every player prop known to man. You can look into the trend there and then see if you know, oh, I like that, I want to take that. You can see compare sportsbooks odds. You can click on the sportsbooks that you actually want to use, and then with one click of a button you can go and add that to your bet slip on said sportsbook. So it is a very cool app and desktop client to use. So make sure to check that out. Again, 7-day free trial with the link in the description. And I said it in the baseball video, so I might as well say it again. They probably don't want me saying this, but like, 7 days free. If you don't have the coins to come together for the subscription after the fact, which is $20 a month or $200 for the year, then just sign up for the 7-day free trial. 7 days free. Free is free. Go check it out, guys. You'll at least get value out of it for 7 days. And I'll catch you guys in the next video, all right? Peace out.